Good evening, Cougars fans. Welcome to another edition of Cougar Puck Radio on the road. I'm Matt Gajtka, live from the Walker Ice and Fitness Center, where your Catholic Central boys hockey team will take on Kenowa Hills for the second time this year in OK Roo Division play. Welcome to the top of the bleachers. Hello. Good to see you once again as we bring you game number 24 on the season for Catholic Central. Just 2 games left in the regular season before the start of the regional playoffs next Wednesday in Jackson. I'll get to that in a moment. First of all, though, a reminder that the Wi-Fi is not so great here, so I'm using my cell phone hotspot to stream right now. So if things break down later in the broadcast, later in the evening, I apologize, but doing the best I can with what we have. All right, on from that. Catholic Central with a record of 11-11-1, and coming off a 2-1 loss at Rockford. If you were watching the other night, you know that, obviously. It was at Griff's Ice House at Belknap Park. Gabe Sova scored the tying goal in the second period for Catholic Central, but the Rams went ahead in the third, and Rockford actually in position now to win the OK Roo Division as they're 2 points up on Granville, and Granville has 1 game to play against the always tough Byron Center Bulldogs. So certainly no shame in the result on Wednesday, but the Cougars had to wait a couple of nights to get back on the ice here. They'll play 2 days, before they head on to the regional playoffs. Tomorrow is Senior Recognition Day, 2 p.m. face-off against Livonia Churchill. But tonight, another matchup against the Knights, who had their own senior honors before the game. In fact, they have 3 seniors to honor. Do the boys in black and gold. Although they're wearing an alternate jersey tonight, they'll be in black and red and a little bit of gold, but a little bit more on that later on. Catholic Central last time out fell behind in the opening minutes. It's one of the few times they've had a rough start to a game this season. Typically they've been a quick starting team as they've compiled that 8-7-1 record in the OK Conference Roo Division. They are in 4th place. They will not win the division, and they will play Forest Hills Central on Wednesday. And one thing Catholic Central wants to focus on here is obviously keeping strong play going and continuing what was a good effort against Rockford on Wednesday night. Just a difficult opponent and couldn't get more than 1 goal into the Rams' net. Part of the problem the other night was barely any power play time. For a team that has averaged nearly a power play goal per game, the Cougars only got about 2 minutes of power play time, spanning a couple of power plays. They had a penalty that erased the end of the first power play, and then they had just a few seconds at the end of the game with a 6-on-4 advantage with the goaltender pulled, but they could not pop one home. A lot of players for the Cougars, and I'll get to this as the broadcast continues on, but plenty of players for Catholic Central have surpassed last season's totals. Chief among them, Nate and Gabe Sova. Gabe last year had 14 points. Now he's got 15 with that goal the other night. And Nate had 12 points last year in the COVID-shortened season, and he leads the team with 24 points in 23 games, including a team-best 16 assists. Andrew Wormuth has already matched last season's point total with 10. Grant Kuykendall has blown by last year's goal total. Big number 28 has 15 goals on the season after just 3 last year. And Ryder Mulvey went from a 12-point performance as a freshman, 3 goals and 9 assists, to this year 9 goals and 10 assists. So plenty of players have taken steps up. Liam Watt, one of the 4 seniors on the team, has also raised his point total from 4 to 11. So even though the Cougars have been up and down this year and are literally right at 500 as they head into the final weekend of the season, plenty of positives to grasp onto, including the fact they've outscored their opponents by 21 goals on the year. Just a couple minutes left in the warm-up. Let's give you an idea of what to expect from Kenowa Hills. The Knights with a record of 8-16 as we take you down to the ice surface to watch the Cougars warm up in their home whites on the road tonight. I mentioned Kenowa Hills and their alternates, but for Kenowa Hills and head coach Matt Wiedenhoft, it's actually been a better situation later in the season. His Knights are 5-4 since January 15th, so they have 5 of those 8 wins over the past 4 weeks. The other night, they blanked East Grand Rapids right here. Jeffries, Pollock, and Lamming scored, and Trevin Lamming, who leads this team with 33 points and 21 goals, had 2 points against EGR. Jack Jeffries scored a power play goal. That's Kenowa Hills' 15th of the year, so they can be potent on the man advantage. And Jeffries' tally was his team-leading 7th of the year on the power play. Lamming has 6. In net, Cody Palmer, who's played the lion's share of the time for Kenowa Hills, had 38 saves for his first shutout of the season. And lately, the Knights have picked up wins against Grand Haven, West Ottawa, Northview, and Dearborn Unified, in addition to that blanking of EGR. But the first time these two teams met didn't go so well for the Knights. It was out at Southside Ice Arena on November the 26th, and Catholic Central scored a mercy rule 10-2 win. Lamming and Pollock scored goals for the Knights, but a bonanza of points on the Catholic Central side that night. Shane Quiakowski had 3 assists from the blue line. Andrew Wormuth, 2 goals and an assist. Ryder Mulvey and Braylon Outwater had 2 goals apiece, and Catholic Central went 3 for 5 on the power play, one of 2 mercy rule wins on the season for the Cougars this year. Okay, just about set for the drop of the puck from Walker Ice and Fitness, getting close to 8:30. We had the senior night festivities. That's why the delay from the 8 o'clock scheduled start. So give us just a moment, and if they do announce the starting lineups, which I'm assuming they will here, then I'll throw it down to the ice for that so you can hear the PA as best you can. I'm assuming national anthem as well, and then we'll get playing hockey as the Cougars pursue win number 12 on the season. This is Matt Gajtka. You're watching Cougar Puck Radio on the road for the final time this regular season. Not sure if we'll be allowed to broadcast on the road in the playoffs, so just savoring this final week of the regular season. The Cougars lost on Wednesday at Rockford, and today a chance for redemption, a chance to bounce back, which they've done every time this calendar year they've lost. They have rebounded with a win, so we'll see if that trend continues in just a few moments. Keep it right here on Cougar Puck Radio. Remember to like and subscribe to know when we're going live. Your starting goaltenders for tonight. Sorry, let me turn that down before you had it up for the national anthem and the starting lineups, although I'm doubting you heard it because there's such an echo in this building. Anyway, for Kenowa Hills, dressed in the red and the black with the gold trim, Cody Palmer, the freshman, gets his 20th start of the season. He has a record of 8-11 with a save percentage of .889 and a goals against average of 4.53, plus the one shutout just the other night against East Grand Rapids. For Catholic Central, making his 4th start and 5th appearance, Max Moore, the sophomore, wearing number 41. He's got a record of 3-0 with an .882 save percentage and one shutout as well. Cougars in white on the road, a rare sight. They'll try to make this the home away from home for them this evening as the puck is dropped, and we're playing hockey in West Michigan, in Walker, Michigan, to be specific. Breaking in comes Gabe Sova. It's the all-senior line out there for Mike Slobodnik's Cougars. From behind the net, Grant Kuykendall curls into the corner. Left it behind, looking for a Wormuth, and Wormuth does drag it to his forehand. Now to a backhand pass, and Kuykendall's shot fluttered wide into the corner. Kuykendall bumped into Palmer. Actually, it's Schroeder, pardon me. Braden Schroeder. They announced 40, Palmer, but it's Braden Schroeder, on that one. Wrist shot from Kuykendall goes wide from the right circle. Schroeder is a sophomore, and this is his 6th appearance. He has an 0-5 record and a .760 save percentage. Goals against over 7. Hasn't been pretty for Schroeder this season, but he gets the call here tonight as both these teams are ending the season with a back-to-back situation. Tomorrow it's Livonia Churchill at home for the Cougars. Kuykendall again scores! Make it 16 on the season for Grant Kuykendall, and it's 1-0 Catholic Central. And the Sharif don't like it, but Grant Kuykendall rocks the Casbah. Walker Ice and Fitness is quiet, except for the Cougars fans up and cheering. And the boys in white have the early lead on the snipe upstairs. Time of the goal, 16:02 remaining in the first period. Well, Kuykendall had a chance just a few moments prior to that. Long opening shift, nearly a minute. He missed the first opportunity much closer to the goal, ironically, but like I've said a couple of times this year, it doesn't matter where Grant Kuykendall gets it in the offensive zone. He's within range. So he beat Schroeder high to, I believe, the blocker's side. Liam Watt couldn't take this pass, and it's banged down the ice by the Kenowa Hills Knights, just trying to regroup. They ice this puck and probably happy to get the whistle, even though the faceoff's coming up back in their territory. One nothing Catholic Central, just a minute and 20 seconds into this one. This is Matt Gajtka live with you on the road at Walker Ice and Fitness. Wi-Fi has let me down, frankly, so I'm using my cell phone hotspot at the moment. Hopefully it's good enough for some decent video and audio fidelity. From the side of the net, Gavin Postotnik slugs it around for Kenowa Hills. Peter Pollock, one of the 3 seniors on this squad who were honored before the game. He makes the play out to center. Ryan Freris, another senior, overskates, and it's pushed back into the Cougars side of the ice surface. Back to retrieve, here's Ian Schweiger, the junior defenseman. He fed it on over and tossed out by Henry Holloman. Also in that same class, Holloman now steps up ice. Quick handoff to Nolan Nemesek. Junior forward, 10 goals on the year, swoops in, lost control of the puck. It's back in behind the net. Ryder Mulvey trying to free the puck up, and did, but right to a Knight, and Brock Hirth rips a pass up ahead. Trevin Lamming, the dangerous one for Kenowa Hills. Backhand chance off the outside of the net. Well, he's got some spring in his step. Trevin Lamming, 21 goals and 33 total points. Well over a point per game player for the Knights. Catholic Central, coached by Mike Slobodnik, now looks on as Nate Sova flicks it ahead. Good little saucer pass in the middle of the ice for Mulvey. And he shot that one off the crossbar, I think. Possibly Schroeder got a piece of it with his blocker hand. Turning stuff try in front by Mulvey, and he's stopped by Schroeder. Couple of good chances for Catholic Central, and then one at the other end for Kenowa Hills. Well, Trevin Lamming has had a couple of great years for Kenowa Hills. Last year, 32 points in just 14 games. This year, he's got 33 and 24, but last year's team was better. He was better supported in terms of depth. This year, it's been more of a one-man, one-line show. Jack Jeffries on the blue line, or pardon me, Jeffries forward for Kenowa Hills, has 17 goals. So he and Lamming are the two to look out for. Jeffries number 7 and Lamming number 11. On the counterattack, here's Mulvey shooting off the blocker of Schroeder. This time he telescoped out confidently to pat it away. Behind the net, Outwater. Braylon Outwater, 5 goals on the year. To the point, wrister from Henry Quiakowski, deflected in the slot now, taken by Nate Sova. He's been a hot starter lately this season. Right to the front of the net for Outwater, and it's tapped off his blade. And kicked on ahead by the Knights. Henry Quiakowski, the freshman defender, will retrieve. Always impressive to see freshman defensemen, especially one who plays as much as Henry does. Nate Sova, the in-cut, and the puck drifted away, just barely, couldn't get the shot off. 13:15 to go in the first period. Cougars up by a goal, trying to sweep the season series against Kenowa Hills. Catholic Central prevailed 10-2 at home on Thanksgiving weekend. It was a mercy rule win. Ryder Mulvey scored to end the game early in the third period. Cougars, of course, 1 week ago won 8-0 against West Ottawa, another mercy rule victory. Berta, D-to-D pass over to Sager, right back to Berta, well too hot for him to handle, but too hot for Gustafson to hold in as well for Kenowa Hills. He has to chase back for this puck behind his net. Reverses flow, but right to Drew Schweigert, who sniffed it out. Hand off to Berta, wrister from the point. That's sticked away by Schroeder. Grant Kuykendall's even strength goal is 16th of the year, 16th overall, I should say. He's got a couple of power play markers, but mostly an even strength kind of guy this year. That's got the Cougars ahead 1-0. Thanks for watching on Cougar Puck Radio. On the far side boards, Alex Sager tried to twist it toward the net, but that was broken up and cleared by Kenowa Hills. Another icing call against the home team. A couple of other players who have bumped up their scoring from last year. Ian Schweigert has 9 points with 2 games to go in the regular season. He had 7 last year on the blue line, including 3 goals, which matches his total right now. And his brother Drew, also a multi-point man this season. I should say twin brother Drew. They are both juniors, the Schweigerts. Continuing the Schweigert tradition at Catholic Central. From the point, Holloman couldn't hold it in for Catholic Central, but here's a quick little relay, a great play from Wormuth up ahead, and here come the Cougars again. A wrist shot from the angle by Nate Sova, save made by Schroeder, and it's swatted out to center ice and beyond, back into Cougars real estate. Holloman plays a bouncing puck. This pass goes well too far for Kuykendall to latch onto, so that's the first icing against Catholic Central on the evening, with 11:36 left in the first. So Kuykendall's 16th gives him 19 points on the year. If he gets on the score sheet, it's probably a goal. He's on the finishing end of so many of these plays for Catholic Central this year. And I should mention that Kuykendall has given his letter of intent to Lawrence University to play club hockey for them after his high school career is over. So congratulations to Grant. It's been a dynamite season for the high-scoring winger. A wrist shot from the left point, gloved down by Max Moore. I think that's his first save of the night, as Lamming's earlier chance was off target. From the dot, Zach Westrick takes this one for Catholic Central against Jackson Stone, the sophomore. He's got 20 points too. Kenowa Hills can score a little bit. They've got 64 on the year. They've just given up 124. The problem's been at the defensive end for the Knights. They have some players to look out for if you're trying to defend, for sure. Shane Quiakowski delays and sent that one deflected nearly off the camera person, standing on top of a ladder just over the lower glass. Might be able to see her on the far side if the camera pans her way. She gets a laugh out of it, as do a couple of the fans standing under her. Well, that's one way to avoid the streaks and the puck marks on the glass. Just get on top of it. Perth at the face-off dot for Kenowa Hills against Ryder Mulvey. Mulvey of Catholic Central wins it. Ryder Mulvey, what a year as a sophomore. Nearing 20 points. on the season. Outwater's got a man going to the net. That's Nate Sova. It comes right to him, and a forehand chance. I think he put it between his own legs, and he was stopped by Schroeder, and the rebound went off the outside of the net. Nate Sova, some razzle-dazzle here. Now he pulls up from the circle. Fed it in deep through Mulvey, but Outwater's there to hold on to it, or try to. Mulvey at the half wall, right wing side. Cleared off the glove of Henry Quiakowski. He's got to chase back. Quiakowski gave it away to Lamming. Lamming cutting around and getting a shot off. His legs were taken out, but no penalty. I thought for sure we'd see a trip there, but I think the Cougars might have gotten away with one. And they'll take the break. They felt like the other night against Rockford. They did not get many calls. Look out! A redirect and a score from center ice. But no, the goal's been waved off. It might have been offside. At least I thought the referee was waving it off. What's the final call here? The goal has gone on the scoreboard for Kenowa Hills, but we're going to have an explanation here. I thought I saw the washout sign. The puck was shot in from center, and it hit, I wasn't sure if it was a Knight or a Cougar, and Max Moore, the goaltender, was in some trouble because he was ranging out to play the dump in, which was going into the left corner. It ended up going right on net and in the net, but no goal. So it is offside. One of the Knights, at least one of the Knights, was in the zone. Let's take a look at that replay after the fact. We're right on the blue line with the camera tonight. Thanks to Mr. Goheen for running things on the video side. This is Matt Gajtka running the audio side of it. It's always a two-pronged production, isn't it, on Cougar Puck Radio, or we try to make it that way. Hopefully you're able to follow along via the power of my cell phone and the 5G network. Icing against Catholic Central with 9:45 remaining in the first. Catholic Central, each time this calendar year, since the page turned, they've followed a loss with a win immediately. They have not allowed a loss to turn into a slump. Back to the point, and a slap shot didn't get through. Another chance, flutters wide. First drive came from Jaden Acker out high. Andrew Wormuth clearing it around. Gabe Sova couldn't tap it by Acker. Did a nice job holding it briefly, but now following up in puck support is Andrew Wormuth. Perhaps the fleetest skater on the Cougars. Got the puck in deep for Kuykendall to foist on over in Gabe Sova's direction. This line created the first goal of the game and the only goal of the game right now, as that apparent deflection goal from Kenowa Hills was washed out on the offside. Peter Pollock behind the net, centering pass, and off a couple of skates, and then a body, and then a stick, and Willette holds in at the point for Kenowa Hills. Moore is going to simply pin this one down with Jackson Stone swooping into his kitchen. A lot of stoppages early in this one. It was a scheduled 8 o'clock start, but the Cougars are on the senior night tour this week. They watched as Rockford honored 16 seniors. Tonight, a much more humble presentation for Kenowa Hills just based on the numbers, just 3. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock at home for Catholic Central, it'll be 4 seniors honored, as Stone tried to backhand a pass in front. Those players are, well, we'll get to them in a minute, as here comes Liam Watt. He is one of those seniors. Watt barreling down the right wing, and a wrist shot off the top of the pad of Schroeder. It deflects into the near corner. Watt freed it up. Here is Nemesek trying to shoot. That was blocked. Saucer pass on over to Schweiger. Back to Westrick. Shot. He scored! Zach Westrick teed it up, let it fly, and buried it from the high slot. 2-0 Catholic Central. Westrick, the sophomore, his 3rd of the year. Off the nifty little give and go with Ian Schweigert. So Westrick shoots to throw, and the Cougars are off to a fine start on this Friday evening. I don't think Westrick got a ton on that, but Schroeder never saw it. There was too much traffic in front, and the shot was accurate, and it was to the top shelf. So we've seen this before in this matchup, this OK-Roo Division rivalry. The Cougars had 5 in the first period against Kenowa Hills the first time they met, as Ryder Mulvey tried to shovel one up under the crossbar, but that missed everything, just barely. Mulvey hanging on to it. Deflected puck in the air behind the net. Nate Sova blind behind the back pass. Mulvey rambling out from behind the goal. Try to get it back there from Nate Sova. Those two play the two-man game as good as anybody on the Cougars. Nate Sova trying to hand it off to Mulvey. Drifts out to the point. Shane Quiakowski goes cross-ring to brother Henry. His deflected shot gloved and held by Schroeder. No further play with 7:55 left in the first. Two Kwiatkowskis on the ice, one on the bench. Assistant coach Joel Kwiatkowski, he of several hundred NHL games, is one of Mike Slobodnik's lieutenants, along with Mike Moss and Josh Stella. Nate Lutz, the athletic trainer. Connor Schetz, who got his first goal as a Cougar 1 week ago against West Ottawa, fed this puck back to the point. Kuykendall and Westrick, your goal scorers right now for Catholic Central. Schetz takes this loose puck as Schweigert ran over a Knight. If you're wondering who's in red, yes, it's Kenowa Hills wearing alternate jerseys this evening. That's why the Cougars are in white. Drew Schweigert wanted to rip a wrist shot on the mini toe drag, but not to be. It hit a skate. Down the ice it goes. No icing here. Max Moore is going to have to play this one at the side of his goal. And the quick handoff to one of the alternate captains, Shane Quiakowski. Good little pass near wing against the grain to find Colin Hoffer. He stretches out over the blue line and backhands it deep. From back there, the Cougars all over it, and a pinballing puck to the low slot. That was defended, but just barely. Jack Jeffries, 17 goals on the year, including 7 on the power play. He filtered this deep. Justin Mack from the corner. On the overlap take, Stone wristing, blocked in front neatly by Andrew Wormuth. Fed ahead, Kuykendall's got a man in the middle. It's Gabe Sova back to Kuykendall, one-timer, save, Schroeder. Wrap try maybe for Kuykendall in front, they score! Andrew Wormuth cleans up the garbage from the doorstep, and he makes a deposit for the 5th time this year. The senior strikes, the senior line gets it done again for the 2nd time tonight, and it's 3-0 Catholic Central. Give the assist to Kuykendall and Gabe Sova. The Cougars would not be stymied. They just kept coming even after Kuykendall was stopped from point blank. And on the counter, that's where Catholic Central is making some serious hay tonight. 3-zip. Bouncing puck to the front of the net. Schroeder lets it go. Griffin Ouellette is run off, and the Cougars have it again. And the boys in white are on fire tonight to start. Kuykendall, as Slobodnik keeps that line out there, trying to stuff it on the far post. He scored a couple of times on wraparounds this year. Not that time, but he's on the puck again. Against Acker in the corner. That's a couple of tall guys going head-to-head. Acker won that battle, but the puck's still up for grabs. From the far side, cleared off the boards. And down by Tyler Rule. Pollock trying to pressure Berta and did, but Preston Berta, the sophomore defenseman, made a good little angle play off the Gabe Sova. He hoists it in. Forecheck time for Kuykendall once more. 1 versus 3 behind the net. Cougars trying to make a change behind the play. 5.5 to go in the first period. Kuykendall drags it to the middle, but it drifted off his blade. And dispatched out the center, and further, Lamming, breakaway chance, he scored! Trevin Lamming roofs it from in tight over Max Moore, and it's 3-1. Lamming scored in the first matchup between these two teams, and he gets it done there, and he is like lightning on the counter with 5:28 remaining. The Cougars' lead is back down to 2. Trevin Lamming's 22nd of the season. We had 12 goals between these two teams the first time out. We are on pace for that sort of night again here. Of course, 10 of those goals were scored by Catholic Central in the first meeting. They wouldn't mind that sort of proportion again, obviously. Brock Hurth run into, again, the Cougars tenacious on this forward-checking effort. Nemesek trying to step out from behind the goal. Nemesek with 10 goals on the year. He's in deep with Westrick, who scored the Cougars' 2nd goal of the night. Kuykendall, Westrick, and Wormuth. From behind, it's the unflappable Nemesek. Stumbled down but still made the pass. Out to Quiakowski, and his wrist shot was blocked. Or pardon, that's Holloman, I should say. 18, not 11. Centering pass right off the skate of Nemesek, who's got to hustle back. Shot it from the top of the circle by Alex Menzel, and Moore sticks it away. 3-1 Catholic Central. 4.5 to play in the first period. Already more goals in this game than we had all of last game against Rockford, the 2-1 win for the Rams. Not to say it wasn't competitive and exciting, but if you like goals, you probably didn't like that game very much. This one, on the other hand, Shane Quiakowski lets it go off to Mulvey. The Cougars are playing that quick touch game to a T right now, neutral zone and offensive zone. That's allowing them to play with speed and play with pace. The puck can always move faster than the body, that's for sure. Gabe's over the handoff, far side, stuff chance for Outwater, and he's denied by Schroeder. And Schroeder's actually made a couple of strong saves on point-blank chances. Again, Mulvey, saved by Schroeder, and swatted out of danger by Kenowa Hills. Stumbling down Henry Quiakowski. An opportunity here for Jeffries, maybe, but he can't get to the puck before it crosses the goal line for an icing against the home side. 3:47 remaining in the first period. Offensive zone draw for Mulvey and Catholic Central. Swooping in there to take it, Nate Sova wanted to give it in front to Outwater. Now he circles the goal. Outwater into the slot, creeping up Shane Quiakowski, turns and shoots, and on line, and Schroeder had to make a save on that one. Mulvey couldn't handle it cleanly on his backhand. Instead, he hands it right back to Outwater. This line's buzzing too. Shane Quiakowski's shot, juggled and held by Schroeder. Braden Schroeder getting peppered in this first period. That's got to be close to 20 shots by now. And still 3.5 minutes to go in the frame. These senior night games are always interesting. You assume the team playing at home is going to come out with some jump, as we saw with Rockford the other night. But I think the opposing team also has some motivation to try to spoil the good feeling. Drew Schweigert from behind the goal. He's roughed up there by Tyler Rule, but he keeps the puck moving. But here's Brock Hirth for Kenowa Hills. Couldn't get it out. Again, Rule has to try from behind his net. Reverses the flow of play up to the far wing. Exit pass to no one in particular. Lamming was looking for it. Trevin Lamming is always lurking in the neutral zone. The captain of the Knights. That's icing again. Lamming, the only returning top 5 scorer for last year's Kenowa Hills team, which went 11-3, outscored opponents by 37 in just the 14 games. But they lost in the first round of the regional playoffs, so it was a disappointing ending to what otherwise was a very strong season. 9 returners for Kenowa Hills, 11 new. And Lamming's going to get this pass and shoots, and he missed short side. Watch out. John Habetler fed him. Cross rink. Up in the air, Lamming in front. Habetler follows on. Or pardon me, that was Stone, rather. And he was denied. Could have said Stone, but I decided against it. Menzel. Behind the net, Lamming. Menzel, Lamming, and Stone out there for Kenowa Hills. This is their first real extended shift. Here's a chance for Menzel. Moore made the save. He didn't know where it was, but it's under him somewhere. Keeping it 3-1. So the Knights have a strong pushback with their top line. And there's a penalty. Jackson Stone is about to be sent off to the box for 2, cross-checking the call. 2:20 remaining in period 1. And the Cougars, who went 3 for 5 on the power play in the first meeting between these teams, get their first kick at the can tonight. I mentioned they had 2 opportunities technically against Rockford. Neither one lasted the full 2 minutes. The last one was about 10 seconds long after a 2-minute men on the ice penalty, with the Cougars trying to tie it up. Watt shot it, blocked in front, rebound, score! Nolan Nevesek calmly stashes it home. His 4th power play goal, his 11th of the season overall. And the Cougars make it 4 for 6 in the season series on the power play against Kenowa Hills. 4-1 with 2:15 to go in the frame. Well, that's called making them pay. And so far, so great for the Catholic Central attack. 4 goals on the board. They had 5 in the first period against Kenowa Hills in the first meeting. Holloman ahead. Well, they're still not done yet. They could still match that. Holloman on the back pedal. Good little look over here near side. Ian Schweigert. Schweigert, who has an assist in this game to his twin brother Drew. Back to Ian as it's forced out over the line and ripped right back in. That's offside against Catholic Central. 1:46 left in the period. The seniors tomorrow to be honored for Catholic Central: Andrew Wormuth, Gabe Sova, Liam Watt, and Grant Kuykendall. The ceremony could start as early as 1:45, so make sure you're there if you want to catch it. I think you do. These 4 players have presided over a lot of wins and last year's run to the state tournament as well, hoping for another run before they hang up the CC jersey. Trying to stuff it from the far side, Connor Schatz. Schatz pivoting, but he's angled off the puck by Menzel. Cross ring, dangerous pass. Nemesek nearly picked it off. Instead, it's Zach Westrick flushing it with one hand on his stick. Nemesek's on it in the offensive zone, using the goal as a shield. Hands off to Holloman at the point. His shot was blocked. And a penalty coming up. And here comes Trevin Lamming, his second breakaway of the period. And he scores again. Trevin Lamming, goal number 23 on the year, number 2 in the game. With 57 seconds left in the period, it's back to a 2-goal margin, 4-2. A penalty was coming against Holloman, and he was caught up ice to boot. So no power play for Kenowa Hills, but obviously they'll take the goal. Lamming goes 5-0 on more. Keep up if you can. 6 on the board here in this first period combined. And Lamming is as, well, tenacious of a neutral zone player, I'll call it. He gets those legs moving, and you have got to keep an eye on him. Hopefully a body on him, too, if you can. That's twice he's gotten behind the Cougars' defense with really no resistance on these breakaways. Centering pass from Westrick is picked off. They try again. Here's Lamming, bidding for the hat trick, but this time Quiakowski knocks him down, and it's a save by Moore. Rebound. Net off its pegs, and a penalty coming up against Quiakowski. Trevin Lamming is absolutely on fire for Kenowa Hills. 29 seconds to go in the period, and Kenowa Hills gets a power play. I thought Quiakowski played it pretty well, but not well enough in the eyes of the referee. Holding the call. Brock Hurth to take the draw, and what was looking like perhaps a runaway at 4-1 now has quite a different feel late in this frame. And I mentioned this Kenowa Hills power play. Jeffries has 7 goals on it. Lamming has 6. Here's Brock Hurth turning it out of the corner to Lamming. Out to the point. Acker, near side, wrister, saved by Moore on Stone. And a big stop. Remember that one. With 7 seconds to go in the period. Acker up the far wing, picked off by Schweigert, who stepped up, and that'll kill off the rest of the period. Buzzer sounds. Whew, take a breath. 4-2, Catholic Central after 17 minutes of play. Back in 10 minutes after the ice resurfacing. Goal scorers in that first period for Catholic Central: Kuykendall, Westrick, Wormuth, and Nemesek on the power play. Lamming a pair for Kenowa Hills. That's how we've gotten to where we are, and Kenowa Hills has still 91 seconds worth of power play time to start the second period. We'll take a breath, and we will return on Cougar Puck Radio. Stay with us. number 11 for them being so dangerous in the first matchup. My God.
I know there, right? What year is he, do you know?
Senior.
He is?
Yeah. He had 21 goals last year, just 14 games. He's got 23 now.
Yeah.
This season.
He's got that top end speed, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He had probably, what, 4 really good chances in that game?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I guess that last one, Quiakowski caught up at the end.
Right. He still got a decent shot, though.
Yeah, he did. More so to make a save.
Right on the pad.
The second period is set to begin from Walker Ice and Fitness Center, home of the Kenowa Hills Knights, who trail your Catholic Central Cougars 4-2 on Cougar Puck Radio. This is Matt Gajtka on the play-by-play. Another late night, another late Friday night for Catholic Central, the final Friday night regular season game of the year. Regional playoffs start Wednesday in Jackson. Bit of a hike there. But if things go the Cougars' way, they'll be playing 3 games down in Jackson. They open with Forest Hills Central on Wednesday. As of right now, they have their hands full with a Kenowa Hills team that can be explosive, especially their top gun, Trevin Lamming, who's got 2 goals in this game. Catholic Central had a pair of 3-goal leads in that first period, but it's down to 2 to start the second frame, and a power play for Kenowa Hills. Acker's shot was blocked and forced out to center. It's Acker peeling back, shuffleboards that pass ahead. It ends up off the stick of Jack Jeffries and in below the goal line on the fresh sheet. Early stages, second period. Max Moore in goal for the Cougars tonight. His 5th appearance. Lamming wristing and a penalty on the way. And I think it's against Kenowa Hills, judging by the frustrated reaction of Brock Hirth, senior forward. You better watch out. He might get an unsportsmanlike on top of it. He continues to gesture in the direction of the referee. That'll kill the rest of the power play. Roughing in front of the net. Boy, not the type of penalty you want to take when you're on a power play in the offensive zone with the puck in full possession to boot. So we'll skate 4-on-4, and then Catholic Central will get a man advantage on the back end of it for 1 minute and 2 seconds. Mulvey and Nate Sova are the forwards. Over the boards for Mike Slobodnik's Cougars. Henry Quiakowski and Ian Schweigert are the defensemen. And instructions coming from the bench. 4-on-4 is always a little bit different. So it shall be Mulvey swatting it to Henry Quiakowski. Tees up a shot. Well, that was deflected by Nate Sova, I think legally, right at crossbar height and just wide of the net behind goaltender Braden Schroeder. Schroeder making his 6th start. He's lost all 5 of his first 5 appearances this season. Acker crunches Henry Quiakowski, who carried the puck below the goal line. Acker again bunts it to the middle. It's picked up with speed by Lamming. Lamming with some room, shooting, and he just missed top left corner against Moore, who was able to come out and challenge because he knew, and I think everyone in the building knew, that Lamming was taking that shot. He was not passing that one back, which would have been to Jackson Stone, who was part of that rush, but not really. Lamming, behind the back pass, finds Stone. It's 2-on-3. The Cougars get an extra body back. Down to the final couple of seconds of the penalty against Shane Quiakowski. It's over. Power play Catholic Central, but Quickendall's pass too hard on this near side, and it goes for an icing with 15:21 left in the second period. Still a 4-2 Catholic Central lead, but with a 1-minute power play, give or take, they'll have to start in their own end. The Cougars are 1 for 1 on the power play tonight, and they scored in the opening seconds of that chance off Liam Watt's point shot. Nolan Nemesek lifted in the rebound. Nemesek now leads this team with 4 PPGs. They've spread it around, have the Cougars, on the power play this season, not like Kenowa Hills, which has 2 guys with 6 or more. Gabe Sova holding in the corner. Now to Mulvey. 28 seconds to go on the power play. Mulvey in front of us. Has a look. Goes cross ring. Open man. Quickendall save. Rebound. And he missed the open net. That appeared to be destined for goal number 5 on the night. Mulvey again cross rink. And it bounces off a skate up in the air and past Quickendall. Short-handed chance perhaps here for Ryan Freris. He's got Pollock with him, but good back checking from the Cougars. And now Quickendall hands it off. Here comes Catholic Central. Odd man rush if they hurry. Mulvey pulling up. Mulvey shot it off a stick. Acker's stick got in the way and tipped it to the end wall. Power play's over, but almost a 2 for 2 so far for the Catholic Central Cougars. Rebound, score, Nemesek again. Shane Quiakowski changed the angle out by the point. From right down the middle, he fired a shot after a toe drag, and Nemesek ripped it in right along the ice for a 5th Cougars goal. Not a power play goal, but immediately following the chance. Nemesek has 2 tonight and 12 on the season. And they roll tonight to the guitar bite, if I don't say so myself. Rebounds have been there. Well, there have been so many shots getting through for Catholic Central. Here's another one perhaps from Schweigert, that's a great save from Schroeder, who stood up to absorb that one. Ian Schweigert can bring it, maybe better than anybody on the team. And he had a full head of steam between the circles on that one. Ian Schweigert has 3 goals from the blue line. Sounds like a good season when you're just playing 25, 26 games. But, boy, it feels like he could have had more this year. He has just missed a few by inches combined. I feel like he could easily have double that. Maybe he's going to put a couple more in here as we go down the home stretch into the playoffs. Palmer gloves this one down. It is Cody Palmer in net, even though it's Braden Schroeder's number 35 that he's wearing. Well, that's confusing. Anyway, it's Cody Palmer. I saw the nameplate, and I was very confused. Well, sometimes that's high school sports for you. Westrick tried to jam it on Palmer. Rebound available. Westrick had 2 cracks at it. Couldn't finish. But he wanted to join Nolan Nemesek in the multi-goal parade. This is offside against Kenowa Hills. Well, this game is playing to type for Kenowa Hills. They've scored a couple, but they've allowed a few. On the year, Kenowa Hills has been outscored by 60, but they're not in last place in the division. That distinction belongs to West Ottawa, who we saw last Friday at the Southside Ice Arena. Catholic Central trying to sweep this team and West Ottawa, the 2 teams on the bottom of the Roo, below them in the standings. Held in neatly by Henry Holloman, but only briefly. Jeffries flicks it out to center. Trying to go back across the grain, Freris, but that was picked off. Westrick in the corner. Batted away from him, Jack Jeffries, the sophomore. Zachary Gustafson has to play it in his own zone. The sophomore defenseman flings it across to Jaden Acker, and the junior guides it ahead. Jeffrey is trying to poke it around Holloman. Now it's behind the net. Ian Schweigert swats it around the horn. Gabe Sova handed it off. With some speed here come the Cougars. Wormuth put the puck in the skates of a defenseman and backhanded that one on goal. Palmer made the save. Wormuth was trying to fool Acker. Got a decent shot away, did Wormuth. Nolan Nemesek has 2 goals for Catholic Central. Shane Quiakowski picks up an assist. Looks like, according to my score sheet at least, only Nemesek and Grant Kuykendall with a goal and an assist are the multi-point guys tonight. Kuykendall looking for goal number 2, but that shot was redirected wide. Berta having some trouble there with Lamming in his face. Gabe Sova turns back up ice, flips it right in on Palmer, who elects to hold with 12.5 to play in the second period, and Andrew Wormuth right there at the top of his blue paint. Catholic Central on the year now with 87 goals, 63 against. That's a plus 24, if I can do the math quickly and accurately, and I think I did. Menzel tossed it off the glass, seamless glass here at the Walker Ice and Fitness Complex at center at least, so that reduces the amount of bad bounces. We saw several of those at Griff's Ice House on Wednesday against Rockford, benefiting both teams, obviously. So many pucks lifted off the glass in the neutral zone that it's probably going to end up evening out for the most part, but you never know in a key situation. The seamless glass is definitely less forgiving for body checking purposes, but for puck playing purposes, it's as good as it gets. Right in front of us, nudging that one off the boards, is Ouellette. Griffin Ouellette is also wearing a different number tonight, too. It must be the alternate jerseys. Ouellette is listed as 17 on my sheet from earlier in the year. Here comes a penalty, and I think it's against Catholic Central. A high stick is the initial call, and was that a timeout or an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty coming up? No, I'm wrong. Sorry, it's against Brock Hirth of Kenowa Hills. And he might have gotten an extra 10 on top of that with 11:26 remaining in the second period. Third Cougars power play coming up shortly. Prior to this season, no Kenowa Hills player had faced Grand Rapids Catholic Central. Last year, limited schedule, they didn't play. But Kenowa Hills joining the Roo Division this year. The Cougars are 8-7-1 in division, 11-11-1 overall, and a long discussion at the penalty boxes in the scorer's area. 2 minutes on the board. That's all I see right now. But it could be a 2 and a 10 situation. I saw the unsportsmanlike signal from the referee who made the high sticking call. Still some fiddling going on over there in the scorer's box. Mulvey now will take the face-off. Referee and linesman discussing some things. It is a 5-on-4. Just looking at the bodies on the ice. And they're still trying to figure it out. Double zeros on the board. There is no zero for Kenowa Hills or Catholic Central for that matter. Kenowa Hills team is a co-op squad featuring players from Fruitport, Kent City, and Greenville, along with Kenowa Hills High School, obviously. Well, I'm not sure what the holdup is, but I'll take the opportunity to thank all of you for watching all season long. It's been my pleasure to bring you Catholic Central hockey. My first season back in Grand Rapids, first year back in Grand Rapids, I should say, since 2014. 4 minutes on the board. It's a 4-minute high-sticking penalty. Okay. So it'll be a couple of chances technically for the Cougars. Wormuth from the goal line. Doesn't like what he sees there, so he peels back. Or pardon, that's Mulvey. Gabe Sova on the look to his buddy Mulvey. Trying to stuff it. Save made by Palmer. Rebound squirts out to the point. Corralled by Ian Schweigert. He goes cross rink. Here's Liam Watt. Ripping one. Score! It might have been deflected home. It's 6-2 Catholic Central. And when it's time to party, they do party hard. Half dozen on the board in Walker. And Watt, again, the trigger man. The first time he did that on the power play, Nemesek cleaned up the rebound. This might be his goal, but it also could have gone off a body in front or a stick. The way the Cougars celebrated it was hard to tell. So the first power play is converted on during this high sticking situation. And now there will be just 2 minutes left on the double minor high stick against Brock Hirth of Kenowa Hills. And I'm going to wait for the announcement to see who the referee thinks got the last touch on it in white. Catholic Central 2 for 3 on the power play. Now what is that? 5 for 8 in the season series. My goodness, against Kenowa Hills. They're saying Nemesek got the tip. If that's the case, that's the hat trick for him. At least I think that's what was said over the PA. I can hardly make it out. Wormuth shooting. Another rebound is still free. Palmer booted it out right into the low slot. Nate Sova looking for it. So are the Knights. Acker couldn't get it out. Quickendall with that long stick. Knocked it down and played it behind the net. 6-2 Catholic Central. Still 10 minutes to go in the second period. Shane Quiakowski can't handle cleanly out by the line. Not only are the Cougars getting shots through, they're also getting bodies to the net. They haven't been necessarily beautiful power play goals tonight, but it doesn't matter, right? They all look great when they go in. Quickendall right to the front. That's off a skate to the corner. Wormuth spins one to Braylon Outwater. As the Cougars have switched up the power play unit here, it's a 4-minute opportunity technically. Shane Quiakowski shooting. Palmer saw that, but again, 2 Cougars in his face. Quickendall from the half wall. Lofted one in the direction of Nate Sova, the sophomore. To the point, Shane Quiakowski to the open side, and Quickendall. There's a stick lying on the ice. Not sure who that belongs to. Quickendall just trying to get rid of it, get it out of the fray. Shane Quiakowski, toe drag, and he scores! A Shane snipe. And the Cougars connect on both ends of the power play. That's Quiakowski's 4th of the year. All 4 on the power play. And it's 7-2. This one's looking a lot like the first meeting. So the double minor hurts doubly for Kenowa Hills. As I think it was Nemesek who got credited for that deflection goal in front for his 13th of the year, and now Shane Quiakowski finding a better shooting angle. He's done that several times tonight, and again it pays off, this time directly in a goal. Three power play goals on 5 chances. Or pardon, 4 chances for the Cougars tonight. 6 for 9 in the season series. And it's Hoffer slugging it around. Off to Preston Berta, driving it off the corner boards, and Ouellette couldn't kick it to his stick. He's got to hightail it back for it. Pollock spun it right to a Cougar. That's Berta at the red line. Played it in on Palmer. No Cougars in the vicinity. They were changing up. So Palmer forced to play it. I think he wanted to stop play with 8.5 to go in the second period. I'm not sure why. Sager back to take. Watt bunts it out of the atmosphere, but powered right back into Cougars real estate. Sager in a 7-2 Catholic Central lead. Off for Nemesek, who redirects it ahead. Acker flags it down. Rips it far wing. The puck pinballs around. Berta holds it up at the red line again, but here is Stone once more for Kenowa Hills. The Knights, they fought hard in the first period, but they've hardly touched the puck here in the second. The Cougars have had 3 power plays. Well, it looks like Berta just committed a cross-checking or a boarding penalty, so Kenowa Hills will go back to the advantage. And it is a cross-checking signal from the referee. With 7:51 remaining in the second period, Catholic Central goes short for the second time tonight. Acker at the point. Hirth fell down at the far side, so maybe Catholic Central can push the pace shorthanded. No, they'll just shoot in. Gabe Sova bouncing it, and Palmer short hops it like a shortstop. And, well, I know he wanted to help his defense out, but that's going to lead to a draw on his own end. That's always the give and take of freezing the puck in that situation for a goalie on the power play. Because the penalty kill always prefers to have things start from a standstill. But Kenowa Hills will win this faceoff, and they'll lead it up ahead, stretching for it. Jeffries couldn't get there to get a twig to it, and so it's icing. And we'll bring it on back down to our right. We are live from the Walker Ice and Fitness Center, top of the bleachers on the far side, if you're familiar with the complex. Part of a wonderful civic public space, if you will. Some outdoor facilities, soccer fields, baseball, playgrounds, walking trail, pond, outdoor hockey rink. Of course, here the indoor rink with the fitness center. And I'm speaking as a former Walker resident. Pretty cool area. And right now the Cougars are making it a home for themselves on the road. Lamming has 2 goals in this game. He's done all he can to keep his team in it. He peels to the outside here. 1:13 to go on the power play. Back to Acker. Now over to Hirth. Acker holds. Both defensemen on their strong side, so no one-timer threat there. Interesting tactical move from Kenowa Hills, as Henry Quiakowski will try to shovel it out, but he can't. Out into the line, Acker putting a shot through, deflected, and just wide of the net. Hirth had an opportunity, maybe more, got a save there. Hard to tell with all the traffic in the way. I'm at a low angle here too, so I'm seeing it like the players see it in some circumstances, especially when the play's down to that far side. Deflection, score! What a deflection that was from Jackson Stone off the shot from Acker at the point. A power play goal for Kenowa Hills. Just got to tip your cap to that one. That was going 5 feet wide, and Stone just put the magic wand out there and tipped it in with 6:29 left in the second. 7-3, your score. So, much like the first period, the early portions of the second period dominated by the Cougars, and now Kenowa Hills has a response. And I'm running on a score sheet. That's 10 goals in this game, in case you couldn't add it up yourself. To the front of the net, Cougars going for their 8th of the night. They got 8 last Friday against West Ottawa. Didn't give up any, though. So they were able to call it a game early. Schweigert on goal. Saved by Palmer. Rebound. Put home. I feel like I've been saying it all night. Rebound, score, rebound, score, rebound, score. This time, Braylon Outwater, the beneficiary of a hop at the front of the net. But again, at least 2 Cougars, if not 3, right around the goal to make it 8-3. And Outwater comes from the land of the ice and snow. 5-goal lead restored for Catholic Central. Outwater, just a sophomore, but that's goal number 6 on the year for him. 6:06 to play in the second period. And another chance, and Palmer had to be sharp to stop that one. Back come the Knights. That's broken up at the line. This match is the second largest goal total of the season for Catholic Central. They had 8, I mentioned, just last Friday against West Ottawa at home. 10 against Kenowa Hills the first time they met. Outwater circling. Already has a goal on this shift. Rips it, save Palmer, loose puck, and he makes a stop on Mulvey. You can hardly believe it. That close to a 9th for Catholic Central. And I'd say it's getting out of hand, but Kenowa Hills has some sharp shooters you have to watch out for. Trevin Lamming has 2 tonight for 23 on the season. Jack Jeffries has 17. That's more than any Cougar has, although Kuykendall's right there with 16 now after scoring earlier tonight. Shane Quiakowski wristing it. It was blocked in the slot, and Palmer had to lunge over to poke it away with the goal stick. And here's Lamming. 11 on 11. He against Quiakowski. Quiakowski with a poke check. It's the best the Cougars have defended Lamming tonight when he's had a chance to stretch his legs out. He is dynamic in the open ice. Watt, the quick relay, finding Nemesek, who had to reach behind him to grab it. Fed it in behind. I think Nemesek has been credited with a hat trick tonight. I believe he deflected that Liam Watt shot earlier in this period on a power play. Zach Westrick picking his way between defenders, but his pass eludes Preston Berta's reach. He had to range out into the neutral zone to play that one and shoot it right back in. Under 5 to play in the second period. Drew Schweigert left it there. Nemesek circling. Little sauce pass out to Shane Quiakowski. Got a goal already tonight, but he missed that one high. Willette retrieves for Kenowa Hills. Again, the Knights can't clear. Lamming unable to get it out. Shane Quiakowski barreling down the boards. Put a pass in front, but Nemesek couldn't handle it. Might have handcuffed him in his bid for his 4th of the game. Hoffer chugging over here on the near side, but he couldn't get there in time to lay a hit on Lamming, but the Knights ice it anyway with 4:08 left in the second. Offensive zone draw. And it's Drew Schweigert kicking it ahead, but John Habetler for Kenowa Hills. Got it out to the half wall, and here's Jeffries to help it the rest of the way. Jack Jeffries' pass. Trying to find Mack in the middle, but that was picked off by Henry Quiakowski. Jeffries cracked it down the boards. He's overtaken there by Holloman, who couldn't clear. Acker, who just had an assist on a power play goal before the Cougars struck again for an 8th. Behind the goal line, Jeffries, spinning shot, sharp angle. Moore made the save, spills out the rebound. Looks like Max Moore hasn't had many chances to hold on to pucks. That's a good sign. Jeffries pinned in the corner. He keeps on chugging, so do the Knights. Pass to the low slot. Jeffries circles the goal, wanted to stuff it on the far side, but that drifted off his stick on the stick check. Icing here against Catholic Central with 3:09 showing on the clock. Stone at the face-off circle for Kenowa Hills. And they tie up. And there's an announcement. I can't tell what in the world is being said. Sorry. Gabe Sova shooting on the move and gobbled up by Palmer. No further play with Kuykendall right on top of his crease. 2:55 to go. Yes, it's 8-3. We still are in the second period. That is not a mistake on your screen. And I have made a few this year, trying to produce and call at the same time. I've gotten better, I'll say that. Gabe Sova, a little shovel pass. Finding Wormuth with some room. Wormuth a shot, low one, and Palmer sticked it away, closing down the 5-hole. Ian Schweigert wanted to connect with Kuykendall, but it didn't work. Lamming. His backhand. Stone gets run off into the ditch by Shane Quiakowski. Gabe Sova, cross rink over to Ian Schweigert. Slams one, intentionally wide into the corner. Wormuth to Kuykendall, puck in his skates. 2:20 left in the second period. Kuykendall pivots and feeds. Back to Wormuth. Coming out of the corner. Right to the front of the net. Kuykendall once, twice. He scores. Followed up his own chance. And Big Grant's got 2 tonight. Catholic Central has 9. 17 on the season for GRCC. And his top sniper, Grant Kuykendall. The Cougars have had so much success tonight working the puck in the offensive zone. That goal scored, by the way, with 2:10 left in the period. Wormuth and I think Gabe Sova should get a secondary assist on that, as he was involved in the puck touches just prior to the goal. I'll put it down in my score sheet. How about that? We'll see if it ends up getting credited after the fact on Michigan High School Hockey Hub. Backhand opportunity for Richard Wiggins, the 4th. Didn't get through. We'll just call him Wiggins from now on. In the middle of the ice, here's the Cougars' Ryder Mulvey, looking to make it a 10 spot. Mulvey scored the 10th goal against Kenowa Hills the first time they met. Right in front, Palmer trying to smother it, and he does. 1:22 left before the break. Well, I kind of thought the mercy rule was out of the picture once Kenowa Hills got their 3rd goal to make it 7-3, but it is a possibility. Grand Rapids Catholic Central will require 11 goals to trigger that tonight. Slap shot save, rebound. Oh my, it was still there. Liam Watts shrugs his shoulders and says, I had that one. A big blast from the outside. Ended up causing trouble for Palmer, but he got the benefit of the doubt from the referee. Acker clears it around. Jack Jeffries overskated. Nemesek, one of a couple multi-goal men for the Cougars tonight. Kuykendall's got 2. Nemesek has 3, his 2nd hat trick of the season. Give him 13 on the year. Nemesek shoots this one. Another big rebound. Oh, and Watt was denied once, and then he couldn't get that second shot on target. He just whiffed on it. He had an open side of the net to make it a 10 spot. Speaking of number 10, there is 10, Henry Quiakowski, making the play, getting rid of the puck. 40 seconds to play in the period. Catholic Central just having their way in front of the Kenowa Hills net. Got a feel for Cody Palmer tonight, the freshman goalie. Doesn't look like he's playing badly at all, but the scoreline's not going to look good. Acker sends Watt down. 2 big bodies collide. Jeffries shooting from way out high. That was a knuckler that missed over the top. Down to 16 seconds to go in the period. Jeffries, drag move to the outside, back in at the outside of the post, and the rebound couldn't be cleaned up. Acker to the front, and another backhand chance was blocked in the slot and cleared by Catholic Central with 4 seconds left, and it's right on Palmer, wouldn't you know it? So he has to hold with 1.1 remaining in the period, just after Kenowa Hills almost got a 4th. Kind of some comical reactions from the Kenowa Hills players. They couldn't believe that they couldn't get that puck behind Max Moore. Give credit to Moore, who was scrambling around, as well as his defenders. It's called desperation defense. Puck dropped, swatted to the side by Lamming, who gives a half bro hug to Andrew Wormuth as time expires. 9-3 after 2. The Cougars get 5 in the period. Kenowa Hills with 1. Nemesek scored twice to complete his hat trick. Kuykendall also for Catholic Central. Outwater and Shane Quiakowski, single markers in that period. Catholic Central is 3 for 4 on the power play tonight, and another runaway against Kenowa Hills, it appears will be the case this evening, this time in Walker. 19 goals in 5 periods for Catholic Central against Kenowa Hills. Wow. What a performance so far tonight. We still have a period to go. We'll see if we play the whole period or not. But bring it right back here to Cougar Puck Radio in about 10 minutes, and we'll have the conclusion of this one from Walker, Michigan. Stay with us. How many of them are rebounds? It's just they can't clear the rebound, they can't clear bodies. It's I'm all right. I appreciate it. I'm gonna stay warm over here under the heater. give Nemisek that goal on the deflection?
I don't know if they did or not.
I couldn't
can't
hear.
hear it either.
I heard Watt on the assist, and he shot it. I just couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I thought I heard Nemisek.
I don't know.
Yeah, the echo is horrible in here. You might as well not even try.
Right.
Let's get 2 more and go home.
Okay. Right.
I'm out of things to talk about. Talk about the weather. Oh, thank you. Good man. What's your name? Okay. Oh, nice to meet you. I figured, yeah. Some relation to somebody. Cool. We just get a lot of playing time as a sophomore. Yeah. Yeah, I think it runs a pretty good ship in that way. Yeah. Yeah, you don't see stuff. Yeah, right. What's his background? What did he play you? Okay. Does he have any siblings? I was going to say, try me. I'm 36, so yeah. Wow, you spread it out too. Yeah. My goodness. So he's like what? 15? Okay. So 23 years apart. You know what? 2 is more than enough for me. Oh my gosh. I feel like I don't even know where I am half the time. So spread out, right? Yeah, right. Safe. Yeah, exactly. Did any of them play hockey or what did they do? Oh. Yeah. Oh, cool. That's a pretty good program, huh? Yeah. I've been through there a couple of times. Never stopped. Yeah, we can check it out. Yeah. Okay. The proximity to the lake, I think, is really a selling point. And you've got the big city if you want to, downtown, but you can also, it doesn't take long to get out in the country and feel like you're way out in the wilderness. Oh yeah, it's like the ocean. It's that quality of beach. Yeah. I was surprised when I came up here for the first time. I was picturing a smaller. I don't know what I was picturing. I thought I could see Chicago across or Milwaukee or something. Yeah, it's rockier over there, isn't it? Yeah. That's what Lake Erie is like back home too. If you go like 2 Third period moments away. Yes, we are back at the Walker Ice and Fitness Center, and that is the correct score, 9-3. Well, I guess the last time these two teams met, the Cougars had 9 goals on the board. Ryder Mulvey ended it, made it a 10-2 Mercy Rule win with a power play goal very early on in that third period. Goaltending change, I think a mercy change for head coach Matt Wiedenhoff to the Kenowa Hills Knights. He has now put Braden Schroeder in goal. Heck, I thought it was Schroeder for the first period and a half until I realized the goalies had their numbers switched from the usual roster with these alternate jerseys. So anyway, no one wants to hear the broadcaster complain about that sort of thing, but I had the goalie wrong for a while, and now it is Schroeder in net, wearing number 40. Looks like Max Moore is going to have it the rest of the way for the Cougars, as Mike Slobodnik will likely go to Trent Goheen, his other sophomore goalie, who's played the majority of the games for tomorrow's senior day. Against Livonia Churchill, the Chargers pay a visit, and we have a penalty, or at least an injury, I should say, with one of the Cougars down. I can't quite tell who it is. Rising to a knee now. I think it's Gabe Sova. Left-handed shooter at any rate. Yes, it is number 15 for Catholic Central. So he's back up. Appears to be okay. I don't think there's a penalty for what it's worth. Well, I think that Nolan Nemesek was credited with a deflection goal in that second period to give him a hat trick tonight. At the very least, he's got 2. Grant Kuykendall has 2 goals as well. Otherwise, it's been a classic Cougars kind of night. When they score a lot, it's usually spread around. It's a full credit to their depth. Nearly a turnover there. Nemesek hunting another one. This one's cracked down the ice by Kenowa Hills, and no nonsense there. They'll just take the icing, down by 6 with 16 minutes to go in this game. Just a heads up that my battery power is running low on the Wi-Fi hotspot, so we may cut out abruptly on YouTube. I am recording the rest of this game, but let's just say I'm not anticipating the result being in doubt at this point. Not to count chickens, but I'm going to right now and say that we're going to be okay. Had to scramble a bit for Wi-Fi here from Walker. Frera's shooting, and it went right through Moore and came out the other side. Back out in front, Hirth, and that's blocked. The Cougars rally to their goaltender's defense there, as that was a helpless feeling for Moore. He looked this way and that. The puck drifted right between his legs and came out the near side and then swung right back into the slot for a chance. Okay. Kenowa Hills in the red. I should reiterate that. If you're used to seeing Kenowa Hills in high school sports around here, you're probably wondering, what are they doing wearing red? But it's an alternate jersey. Not really sure what I'm looking at on that thing either. Almost looks like a Christmas special jersey, but I don't think that's correct. Anyway, Catholic Central in white. Usually their home uniform. Nate Sova doesn't have a goal tonight, but he's trying to get one here. But he was stick-checked at the last moment by Brock Hirth. The puck held in, though, by Catholic Central. Up by 6. Trying to get to 10 goals for the second time this season. They had 10 against Kenowa Hills in the first meeting. All the way back on Thanksgiving weekend. Braylon Atwater shot it, drifted into the goal off the shoulder of Schroeder. And there's the 10 spot. There's double digits for the Cougars. Atwater again, his second of the night. And that looked like a goalie who wasn't quite ready after spending most of the night on the bench. Atwater's second of the night, his 7th of the season, and guess what? His 4th of the season against the Knights. So he's got 2 multi-goal efforts this year, both against the guys with KH on their chests. And now the Cougars are 1 goal away from ending this thing early. And hey, they come back at 2 tomorrow afternoon, so they might be happy to maybe get an hour's extra rest out of this one. Atwater for the hat trick, and Schroeder makes the save on the counterattack. Out to the point, Quiakowski lines it up and rips it in over the top with that one. shooting gallery right now. Schroeder has to face this one. He makes a save. Still loose puck at the side of the net. The battle for it there, and one of the Cougars went down. Slap shot in front of the goal. Oh my, that caught a body and went over the net from Gabe Sova. Out high. That might have been a hook too. Might be 2 penalties against Kenowa Hills. Delayed call. Kuykendall. He's bidding for a third against Acker. Those two have been matched up a couple of times tonight. 2 big rigs. It squirts out to the point. Shane Quiakowski. Lovely little toe drag again to find a man. Preston Bird, a shot and glove save by Schroeder, and he holds on. Another penalty against Kenowa Hills. That's putting this game in danger of extinction. It's Acker with 13-14 left in the third. The Cougars are 3 for 4 on the advantage tonight. 6 power play goals against Kenowa Hills this season. And a 7th would put the game on ice and set us up for the regular season finale tomorrow against Livonia Churchill. And the Chargers are a game opponent, a one you're going to want to be fully ready for. Another extended discussion at the penalty box in the scorer's area. 5-minute penalty. I couldn't see it. I was screened out here with some players in the way. I'm looking at the same angle you are, basically. So a major penalty. I don't think I've seen a major penalty on the board this year in a Catholic Central game, which is a good thing. So a 5-on-4. Normally, it's broadcaster's code to say that you can score unlimited times on a 5-minute power play, but it's not going to matter tonight because one more for Catholic Central would end the game. There were 2 penalties called. Another one on that shot from out high, a score for Kuykendall, the hat trick, and the Cougars win. So, well, my explanation is going to have to wait. Sean Gieske went to the box for 2 minutes. It was a 5-on-3. Kuykendall wired it home from the outside. Tip your cap to Grant. His 18th of the year. And that puts the Cougars back on top against Kenowa Hills. 2 games this year. How about 21 total goals scored and just 5 against. 2 mercy rule wins for Catholic Central against the Knights this year. And Kuykendall gets a hat trick, his second hat trick of the season. He had a 4-goal game earlier this year as well against, I want to say Grand Rapids Christian at home. Either way, it was earlier in the year. So Kuykendall gets the final, or 2 of the final 3 goals for Catholic Central, I should say. Outwater scored early in the frame, and they've already turned the scoreboard off, so I can't even tell you how much time is left on the clock. The folks here at the Walker Ice and Fitness Center are ready to call it quits and go home. On senior night, Kenowa Hills honors its 4 12th graders, but, well, the Cougars do most of the celebrating in an 11-3 win, improving their record to 12-11-1. And yes, once again, Catholic Central follows up a loss with a win. They've now done it 6 straight times ever since the new year began. They've been a resilient bunch in that way, and they'll head into the regular season finale tomorrow against Livonia Churchill, getting ready for their own senior day. And the Cougars tap their sticks to the fans who've made the trip over to Walker to watch them romp over the Knights by 8 tonight. Well, my signal's running low, so that's my cue. This is Matt Gajtka saying good night and God bless from the Walker Ice and Fitness Center, where your Cougars controlled the game from the start and pulled away for an 11-3 victory, their largest offensive outburst of the season. Talk to you tomorrow, 2 o'clock start for the puck drop, but I'm going to try to get the broadcast on the air early so we can get some of the senior day stuff on the air as well, in case you're watching from home or watching after the fact. Thanks again for tuning in tonight, and we'll talk to you tomorrow as the Cougars put a wrap on the regular season. Bye-bye.